Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Dogs in the Draft. My name is Connor Riley, and today we were talking about the starting quarterback for the last two national championships, a Heisman finalist in Stetson Bennett. Now, it has not exactly been the easiest road to the NFL for Bennett, not only through his college career, but also in some of the pre-draft workouts. But Mike, what could an NFL team potentially be getting in the Georgia quarterback?
Well, I mean, Stetson was a playmaker, right? And a guy that you just don't underestimate. This is a guy who has a lot of competitive character. He works very hard, makes plays, makes timely plays. A lot of people worried about his size. He's an inch taller than Bryce Young. He's 5'11". He can run around. He can make plays. I like the elusiveness. Showed a lot of durability at the University of Georgia, So all it takes is one team to like you. And when you look at the games that Stetson Bennett won and the way that he would perform in the clutch, and you look at the career track and a guy who so little was expected of, who just competed like the Dickens to get to the top, I don't think you rule Stetson Bennett out. Now, the question is, what type of backup quarterback is he? How does he manage himself? I know this, Connor. I never heard any issues with Stetson Bennett as a backup quarterback, even though he spent a large part of his career at Georgia, backing up Jake Fromm and then backing up JT Daniels. And I didn't hear any issues that would make me think that he couldn't handle that role in the NFL until he were to get an opportunity. So I do think Stetson Bennett will be drafted. I don't know which GM or coach might fall in love with the potential or the playmaker, but I think somebody's going to give Stetson a shot.
Yeah, we've seen in recent years, I think the backup quarterback position become more important. And while Stetson isn't going to be a first-round quarterback, he certainly showed that he's capable of making plays, outdueling all five quarterbacks that are expected to be taken in the first round. He's made big-time plays, was a Heisman finalist this last season. While, yes, he's playing ahead and playing on a very talented team, I think specifically in this 2022 team, he was a big reason they were in the national championship game, especially with the plays that he made in the second half against Ohio State there. He's not going to be everyone's cup of tea because of his size limitations, but this is a guy that keeps winning, keeps fighting, and keeps getting better. And as you mentioned, has experience as a backup before, backing up and coming in the start of the 2020 season to save Georgia to start that year. And then in 2021, when JT Daniels went down, he was a guy that came in, kept working, kept getting better, and Georgia ultimately chose to ride with him and did so all the way to a national championship last year. I'm not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl, but you saw the value of backup quarterbacks in the NFL this past season with guys like Brock Purdy, Skylar Thompson, and Tyler Huntley all starting playoff games. Yes, Stetson did have the offseason public intoxication arrest, but that I don't think is a long-term issue with regards to Bennett. It was just poor timing on Bennett's part. So he's a guy that I do think will probably go in maybe the 5th, 6th, or 7th round there. But as you point out, Mike, I do expect him to be drafted. A story I don't think many people would have believed, except for, of course, Stetson Bennett, as he goes on to try and become an NFL quarterback after a stellar Georgia career. So for a discussion about Stetson Bennett, my name is Connor Riley. That's Mike Griffith. This has been Dogs in the Draft.